It's Tony Harding again from Harding Knives. I just got back from the USA and I had hoped to have done a lot more in the way of making videos in the last 5 days or so, but it hasn't stopped raining. I've injured my back and my car broke down, so I don't know why that's all funny, but it is. But we got a nice day today, so I thought I'd make an attempt and get out and try and say something. I've been reviewing my videos and I know that I've got a lot of progress to make. They're not very professional yet, but I'll keep working on it, and I'm hopefully going to apply the principle of learning skills that I keep doing it, keep working hard at it, read about it, take people's advice, and hopefully get better. Not only get better, but get good at it. That's my objective. I've so enjoyed my time in the States. I always do. I love being in the North American wilderness. It's such a great experience. I come this part of England, northeast of England. I'm not the top predator here. I hunt once or twice a week, but it's interesting being out in the American wilderness because I'm usually alone, which I know is the one rule that you should never break. It's interesting being out there knowing that you're not the top predator by any means, and for someone who's fascinated by hunting, who practices a lot, it's wonderful. I love it. I'm hopefully coming back again. This visit was for my father's funeral, but I stayed for 3 weeks after the funeral and did a lot of bushcrafting and hiking and stuff. But it wasn't a planned visit, of course. I had planned to go later in the year. If anything, it was too hot. I often had to wait for things to calm down at the end of the day before I went out. But it's nice to be back here. I do love the English wilderness, but I absolutely love being out in the North American wilderness too. And yeah, I don't know what I can say about that. I do have some other videos which will come out later that I filmed while I was there, and I'm hopefully going back in a couple of months, maybe even less. And I've got a bit of a giveaway going on because I end up going out alone all the time. Anybody in and around the Salt Lake area who's interested in earning a $360 knife or two, message me. All I need is for someone to take me out and show me the trees and explain a few things to me. Here I know probably every tree that I can find. I can name a lot of plants and almost every single bird that I hear. But in the States, although I love it, I just don't know anything. I can't name everything around me, and I don't like that feeling. I want to get more familiar with it. So I'll explain a giveaway or a swap, whatever way you want to phrase it, before my next trip. I have gone on quite a bit about this knife that I made for my father about 10 years ago or thereabouts, that I've inherited back. I'm still working with it. I've not put it near a bench stone. I've not recovered the Scandi grind on it. I'm still sharpening it on a very small DC4 stone with a secondary bevel, and I haven't made the final conclusion yet. And the objective, of course, was, can I live, or can I spend an extended period of time in the wilderness and maintain a knife with a small pocket stone and still be able to do all the bushcraft projects that you need to do to live comfortably in the wilderness. So far it's looking good, but today I would like to show you this knife, and I just made a few feather sticks with this, and I had my doubts about the secondary bevel because it was just so wonderful. but that project isn't over yet. But that's a 5mm 01 steel in a my traditional bushcraft shape. 5mm is 3/16 of an inch. That might seem quite thick. It's not heavy. I hollow out some of the steel behind that wood. That's English oak. I take out some of that steel and drill some holes, and that kind of takes some of the extra weight off. And the good thing that I particularly like about this is this bevel. I just didn't alter the bevel as if I was doing it with a 4mm blade, and you get a deeper grind. If I compare it with the other traditional bushcraft knife, you can see that bevel is deeper, and there's two things that are good about that that immediately come to mind. One is that it was great with feather sticks and that kind of bushcraft project. Three things really. Obviously that extra thickness certainly makes battening a lot easier, and it splits wood obviously better. But the other thing is the resharpening of it. Even on quite a small stone, that is such a wide bevel there that it's very easy to keep it flat against the sharpening stone. Now that's the whole purpose of Scandi grinds, or one of the purposes of Scandi grinds, is that they are easy to sharpen because of that the flatness of the grind. But the wider and flatter grind is even easier. And I guess people that know me know that that's one of my big concerns, that I don't like people spending a lot of money on a knife, wanting it to last and perform for a lifetime, and then they can't sharpen it. I have nightmares about that, because a knife you can't sharpen is no knife at all. But these, with that grind, although my own personal knife, I haven't used one for months at a time, I will be in order to get to know it. But I've had some great reports back from customers, and my initial tests, I call it initial tests, I actually have done quite a lot of work, but my initial tests are very favourable. I really like that thicker blade, deeper grind. It has a great purpose. I'm going to be out in the woods tomorrow. I'm going to pack up and have somebody drop me off, and I'm going to spend about 48 hours. I don't have massive amounts of time, but a couple of days and nights out in the woods, and I will be actually doing some hands-on bushcraft for you. I keep threatening to do that. And things have happened that have prevented me. I didn't think my demonstration of feather sticks was very good on my other video, but I had some wonderful comments and had some great emails which are very supportive. But I think I did explain that I'm pretty new to this online thing. I'm new to video making and Instagram and all of these things, and the new website should be out in the next week, and yeah, please please don't look at the old website, but it should be out in the next week with all the bells and whistles that go with it. But I am still learning with all of these things. I've made knives for a very stable customer base for a long time, and it's time I left that and became a modern business, I think, is what a business advisor advised me. So I'll speak to you soon. I'll be out in the woods tomorrow. It may be raining. I suspect that it will be because of where I live, but I'm going to be doing some quite complex bushcraft carvings and implements and what have you. Well, that's the plan so far. Depends how my bad back goes as well, but that's not going to stop me going. Okay, speak to you later.